So there's some structures on a hilltop about 20 kilometers north of Chiang Mai, Thailand. We'll go up and have a closer look. This is a huge temple site that I call my temple, only because I visit there on a weekly basis. So let's continue, have a closer look at what's going on up there. So here's the road up to the temple, Wat Phrathat Doi Saket, the Doi Saket temple. Let's ride on up. We can take these steps, about 200 of them, which I won't do today, or we can ride up this side road. Come on, little Honda Cub. So here we are in the main temple area. We'll have a general look around. And then I'll continue up to the actual temple and we'll have a closer look at everything. So I'll park the bike here. So there's the steps that I didn't climb. I'm up the top now. Here's the old section of the temple, and it is said, it is written, that Buddha actually visited this site in the year 1112, making this the oldest Buddhist site in Thailand, in northern Thailand. Certainly it predates the site in Chiang Mai known as Wat Man by some 90 years. Let's continue in this apparently ancient area. There's no demarcation as to where Buddha is said to have given a lock of his hair to a naga, like a serpent, who was resident here. But that's what's written, and I may well be standing on the oldest Buddhist site in northern Thailand. Let's go and have a closer look at the actual temple building. Okay, well, I'll go inside the temple, take off my sandals and show you around. So I mentioned Naga before. Well, this is what they look like, and they're at every temple site, sort of, in our terms, a bit like Loch Ness. And every temple has a sleeping dog. Let's go inside. Stop. So here we are inside. I'll try to speak softly because there is a lady conversing with the local monk, and it's okay to film in here. One thing I like about temples is that everything is open to the public pretty well at all times. One thing that makes this temple different is this artwork. This artwork, unlike in other temples, was actually done in the 1990s, and it took a local artist, I think, Kun Chainwat, 4 years to do the paintings around this temple, and it makes this temple unique because it's relatively modern painting. Okay, so back over there was the main temple, and there's lots of huge structures here. I'll show you most of them now, and then I'll have to film with a better light in the morning to show you the others. So let's continue down here a little bit. And here is what I call Philosophy Corner. That incidentally is a massive Kanun jackfruit with yellow fiberish sweet fruit inside. Magnificent. I might come back later tonight. So there's a little bit of philosophy. A frog chooses boss. People will constantly change their boss. Okay. And a bit more philosophy. Watering a stump to do something that can have no result. Yeah, we all know about that. And on the back, a gash on a bull's back. A person who does make wrong makes themselves. Who does work wrong makes themselves. Okay, we'll do one more. Come down to this one. Forcing the cattle to chew the grass, meaning making another do as you want. Yes, we all know about that. Okay, we'll continue on uphill a little bit further on. Okay, so here's one of the more recent additions to the complex. Another few hundred steps up to that golden Buddha. 10 million baht, Thai baht, donated by a wealthy benefactor, I think a private businessman here in Bangkok, I believe. Largely done by Burmese labour and nearly completed. So we'll ride on up there and have a closer look. Okay, so here we are at the top of the hill, and here's a very recent, yet to be completed Buddha structure. It is now beginning to attract a lot of visitors, and I think they have big plans for the shall we say, commercialization of this particular site. Let's pan around and we'll see down towards Chiang Mai, back in there where we were just a while ago, and the mountains of Chiang Mai city. A little bit hazy today, but not as bad as it's going to be with the smoke pollution. Here we are, more views of the valley, panning around. So we're still at the top of the hill behind that big golden Buddha. There's just so much up here to look at. We won't see it all today, but there's a little shop there which is fantastic, because as you can see, it's a really cool, literally cool, relaxing area to sort of sit and contemplate, have a cool drink or a coffee. Now there's an alleged zoo here, so let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so we have Dao, big turtle, and we have babies in there. Okay, so the zoo has a crocodile, and next to the crocodile roaming around are chickens, as you can hear. But I've just been told by a young man that this crocodile doesn't eat chickens, he only eats bread. Let's have a look at the small one here. Okay, and there's a small one. Also, apparently, a vegan crocodile. There you go. There's the first. So here comes the monk. In the electric buggy, driven by a novice. And we'll go down the hill. You can see there's still that little gap to fill in there over the road. We'll go down and have a coffee. You may wonder why these ribbons are orange ribbons are on the trees. They have been placed there by the monks to protect the trees from being cut down, and it works. Most times those trees are protected from being destroyed. There we go. So even though Thailand is a Buddhist nation, I think some 97%, there are still quite a few Christian Thais living, especially in northern Thailand, in the hills around Chiang Mai. This appears to be one of them, the owner of this car. Okay, we'll walk into the temple coffee shop, have some water and Americano. Here's the boss lady making her coffee. Sawadee krab. So here's my usual spot next to this little waterfall. It's quite delightful. So I'll sit here, have a coffee, have a water, and then I'll show you other parts of this hilltop temple. Okay, so here's a rather rotund Buddha, and the idea here is to visit and throw some coins into that container, which will become a donation to the temple. Okay, so we're near the coffee shop, and you can see the big golden Buddha in the background. This particular construction here will house a reclining Buddha, and the whole thing about 6 million baht worth. Once again, Burmese, Myanmar labour, and the end product, I'll just zoom around, and we'll see if we can see up here. The end product will be that reclining figure. As I said, dogs, bless their hearts, relaxing pretty well everywhere. Hello. Now in this room, next to the coffee shop, is a separate section recently added where people can come and talk to monks, have blessings, resolve any problems they might have in relatively private surroundings next to the waterfall. It's lovely. Okay, so we'll go up the hill now and look at the latest additions. Past these spirit houses, which have been placed here because they've served their time. The people can't totally discard them, they have to put them somewhere, and they have been replaced by new ones. That's the main reason, and I'll give you another explanation as I understand it a bit later on. Okay, so up the hill. And here we are at the big new dome. Let's have a closer look at that. Okay, so this dome, I have been told, will house Buddha's footprints and other religious relics. Apparently it's another huge donation from the public of 100 million baht. Let's have a closer look. Okay, so here we are at ground level. Lots and lots of equipment. I've noticed some stairs over here, so I'll see if I can climb up there and have a look inside of this huge structure. Okay, so this man, Kun Chulakap, Kun Walut,
Yes, sir.
he is the construction manager, and he has invited me in to the dome, which will accommodate Buddha's footprint, and this is fiberglass concrete.
Fiber and cement, mixed cement and fiberglass.
Okay, and he's also said that here's the works inside. It's fantastic. He said I can enter here now that my sandals are off, And this is where Buddha's footprint actually is. And that's what it's all about. Okay, now the workers are putting the ceiling in place. Excuse the noise, but those massive fibro concrete slabs are forming the ceiling, and Kun Warot just said this will be about another 2 years of construction down here to accommodate Buddha's footprint in there. Fantastic. Khop khun ma kap. And this will be, I'm sure, a delightful viewing platform. The sun will set over there. That's about as far as I can go. And there'll probably be coffee, refreshments on the balcony, and we'll be able to sit down and watch the sunsets. And there's the beautiful twin lakes, Nong Bua Twin Lakes. Okay, so the same man, Kun Warot, the construction manager of the dome housing Buddha's feet, he didn't build this, but he's just told me it's a museum, and it houses Buddhist relics that are about 100 to 120 years old. Let's see if we can have a look inside. Well, all of the doors are well and truly locked, but the relics are in there. So it appears it may be by appointment. I'll try to get my way in by talking to a local monk next week. There you can see through the bars that at least some relics are already in there, and I'd very much like to have a look and share with you later on. So there's the dome, and from there I referred to Nong Bua Lakes, which is where I am now. And these delightful lakes provide a lot of recreation, people jogging, fishing. Way down in level right now because we desperately need more rain. A little shelter there, a little restaurant back in there, another temple, the other half, the twin lake and the mountains in the background. It really is a delightful setting. Okay, so here we are back at the temple, Wat Phrathat Doi Saket, north of Chiang Mai, just before sunset. So we'll have a look at the scenery as it is now. You can see quite hazy from the smoke and the burning of the rubbish here and in neighbouring Laos and Burma.